Hello everybody, how y'all doing? Let me see how this how the text look. Added some text to the right side there. Hello everybody, how y'all? It's not too bad. We want to make it a little bit smaller so it's a bit more visible at the bottom. And I'll make this a bit smaller. Boom. So, awesome Bandit. The join link is in the description, by the way. If you want to join the hangout, just go right to the description of the video. Here is the link here for your convenience. Just open that video. In the description will be the link to join the hangout if you want to join. And I'll play the video and then talk about the what's in there. So, how we looking? Hmm. It's funny how every time you update this thing, it changes the shape of it. But easy to fix. Boom. Awesome. So here we go. I'll go ahead and play the video and then start discussing.
Military radar advises they are picking up intermittent primary target behind you. In trail, I say again.
The Boeing 747 cargo jet was on a routine flight from Paris to Tokyo, cruising at 600 miles per hour at an altitude of 35,000 feet. It was headed towards Anchorage, Alaska to refuel. Suddenly, at 5:11 p.m., Captain Kenju Terauchi, a pilot with 29 years flight experience, saw three large, fast-moving, unidentified objects.
Oh, what was I muted? I don't know how long I was muted. What's going on, Banto?
Yeah, not much, mate. Not much. Just got a little ding. I thought I'd jump in and say hi.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
What are we watching?
Watching the addition. So Rez, he found another Walnut video, a Walnut video. So added it to the end of the ones that I had before. So now there's 10 instances of light craft. And a few of them, like some of the ones that's far away, you can't exactly tell it's the exact same type of craft, but it's a light craft that's close enough, so I added it in there. But the one at the end is like very, very specific. So I'm just going to look through the video, then see if anybody's here to chat. We can talk about it, see what the evidence is about.
Sounds good.
Let me make sure my volume is set properly. Desktop audio.
Can you present it in Hangouts too?
Yes, I can. I'll present it in Hangout, and I'll start it over. Only went in like about 10, 20 seconds or something like that. Give me a moment here.
Cheers, mate.
So I'll do entire screen. Wonder why this thing. Well, I'll let it be. Screen 1. Nope. Screen 2. Awesome. And hopefully you can hear it, but you might not be able to hear it. But it's mostly just like them commentating on what we're seeing for the first one. I'll commentate what he's saying, and for the future ones, it's basically just people saying, "Wow, it's a UFO," or "I think it's fireworks," and things like that. So let me know when you can see the presentation. I'll press play again.
No problem. You're not going to see it now yet. It's good.
Awesome.
Military radar advises they are picking up intermittent primary target behind you. In trail, I say again.
The Boeing 747 cargo jet was on a routine flight from Paris to Tokyo, cruising at 600 miles per hour at an altitude of 35,000 feet. It was headed towards Anchorage, Alaska to refuel. Suddenly, at 5:11 p.m., Captain Kenju Terauchi, a pilot with 29 years flight experience, saw three large, fast-moving, unidentified objects 2,000 feet below. The largest object was described by Captain Terauchi as resembling a shelled walnut. Captain Terauchi said that the main craft was twice the size of an American aircraft carrier.
Co-pilot said it was as solid there as if you were seeing an oncoming jet.
Are you able to hear the video too?
Except it wasn't an oncoming jet.
747 was
no, mate.
I'll figure that out at one point. Well, what they're saying is, so the pilot called this in, was observing this, matching their speed. So the plane was going at 600 miles an hour. And I like this reenactment because, I mean, look at the movements. And of course, it'd be nice if they had a video. But I've seen video of craft moving like this before. They're just hovering around, moving as they like. But imagine making maneuvers like that while you're going 600 miles an hour. It almost looks like they're still the comparison. How
almost surreal, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is surreal, man. When you really see one, it is surreal. So I think that's a very good reenactment.
Anchorage went dead, leaving the aircraft flying blind. A horrifying catastrophe.
So now what's going on is, at a certain point, electromagnetic interference from the spacecraft caused the radios on the airplane to go blank. So now they couldn't navigate properly anymore. And at that point, when the radio went blank, that's when the craft went away. So I guess they realized that they was interfering with their safety, perhaps, so they left. So they wouldn't interfere with the electrical equipment anymore, which I think is pretty nice. The fact that they left right then seems to me to show some type of uh, intelligent control as well as concern for people. Hey, how you doing there, lunatic?
It's overcast and not safe today here in Washington for a helicopter delivery of the president. The one suspected.
He's asking if you can put it a bit
Louder?
louder on
Yes.
YouTube.
Actually, that's the loudest it goes on YouTube. It's kind of secondary footage, I guess. But thankfully, most of them don't have a lot of audio as a part of it. But that one, I'll click back on that one momentarily. See, that was done by a news crew. The space shuttle disaster. So they was filming looking at the space shuttle disaster, and I guess he thought he was looking for. And what I'll do, I'll just mute the YouTube video. You could probably hear the YouTube video better when you play it yourself, but I'll just mute the YouTube video and just comment. So look at that. So that's by a Fox News crew. So he thought he was looking for space shuttle debris, but caught that, looking in the sky for space shuttle debris. So I thought that was pretty cool.
So that's on the same day, that footage?
Oh, no. All this is different. Oh, yeah, I was just saying, yes.
Oh.
That footage there is the same day. I thought you meant the first one, too. Yes, that's the same day as the space shuttle. That was during the space shuttle disaster. And you'll find, if you look at airplane disasters or nuclear things or space shuttle things, you'll find that there's UFOs around those things. So it's not a surprise to me that the spaceship was around during the shuttle disaster, because it was probably observing what we're doing, and they probably knew some major event was going to happen, or they noticed it happened, and they came closer to check it out. So it does not surprise me at all that one was near the space shuttle launch.
Look at the definition in it, though.
Say again, please.
Once again, the definition.
Oh, UFO means unidentified flying object.
No. I'm saying the definition of the UFO. Like, it's very distinct, the shape.
I agree.
Like the two halves again, like we were talking last time. It's a very, very distinct shape.
I agree. And I've seen others like this as well, but I don't really feel comfortable about the source where they come from. But I've seen a few images that look similar to this, but I can't be sure about those. But I mean, this one was. I mean, what can you say? It was caught by the news. Some people, that's why a lot of people don't accept ETs and stuff, because they say the government didn't tell them. And we know the government does lie and keep secrets. I mean, clearly I don't see how they could possibly lie about the shape of the planet. So, but I mean, they do lie about UFOs. So here's a government. I guess I can't say endorsement, because he didn't realize what he was filming at first, but he or she, whoever was controlling the camera. But yeah, very definite. You can see the line in the middle. I remember seeing another craft where they have that sort of, you see how it goes up. Like, it's not necessarily like the top half. It's almost like a top hat, like a cowboy hat, like a little rim around it right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. But even more definition is coming up. Do you want to join the Talker Lunatic? If you do, the meeting link is right in the description for the video. So if you just scroll right into the description for the video, you'll see the link to the meetup, and you'll see the link to call in if you just prefer to call in on your phone. So I'll keep this thing rolling. And he just paused it for a second too. So this one, it says caught by Sarah in San Diego. What I like about this one is she was exclaiming, that's a freaking spaceship. Look at that definition.
Look at it, yeah.
And we'll see how much it looks like crafts in future videos, which is why I'm collecting these videos, because it's clear if it's not the same type of being. Look at that pause. If it's not the same exact group of beings, it's a similar craft. Oh, awesome. You're welcome, Lunatic. Glad to have you. Now this is China. Now what I found is so one of them we saw in America with the space shuttle disaster. That one was it seems in the United States. This one is in China, and when you play the original video, you can hear the people exclaiming in Chinese. And you notice it looks just like that one by the space shuttle disaster, right? Let him back up a little bit. He's gonna refocus it. There it is.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Just
It's
like
identical.
yeah. Almost identical. If it's not the same craft, it's one just like it. And I mean, it makes sense, right? Because we have like Boeing 747s, and there's not just one, right? There's a whole fleet of them. So I imagine they probably got fleets of the UFOs. You know what I mean?
Well, you would imagine so.
Yeah. Or again, it could be the same people just traveling around the globe. Now this one is slightly different, but it's still that walnut shape. Now, one interesting thing I like about this one, I think it shows their interdimensional capability. So let me pause it. So you see that? Look at how it's like. You saw that?
Kind of morphs.
Yeah, and this is not the first time. And in a later video, we'll be able to see the same thing in a different area. One moment here. So first you see the definition shot. They say this one is in Massachusetts, according to the video description. In Massachusetts. So this one is back in the United States. We just left China. Trying to see if I could find a good moment. You can see it better when it's moving. Okay, it's hard to pause it at the proper moment where you can see the definition. But yeah, you can see the little break in the middle and right there. So they have they have the technology where they could either change how we see the craft, or they could literally just change their dimension itself, where it's not in this dimension anymore. Oh, look at there. Look at that definition.
Look at that.
Yeah, man. Very good. And some people say that nobody ever can zoom in on them good. That's some good camera work right there. But of course, it's just hovering there. You have enough time, right, to really get a zoom in on it. So it seems like they're following it while it's going behind, brushes or trees or whatever. Look at that.
The definition is insane.
Yeah, man.
Look at it.
It's pretty cool. And you could almost see the little upward slant a little bit too. It could be just the way the light shines off it. Awesome.
But when it's that still shot, the definition, it's almost giving it depth.
Yeah.
Too.
And the lunatic,
like it is a three-dimensional shape, not
very
just
clearly.
light.
Exactly. It's not just a light in the sky. Something is there. You could tell something is there. Even when it's twirling and swirling and it's becoming this amorphous shape, obviously it's just some advanced technology they have where, it's not necessarily, they can make themselves not necessarily solid, it seems. You know what I mean? When you saw a spacecraft, a lunatic, did it look like this, or what was the shape like when you saw the one you saw? And I'll pull up an image of the one I saw with my own eyes. Maybe I should have added that one into this video. Maybe I'll do it with the next one. I'll add the one I saw. But it doesn't look anything like this one though. But I saw it relatively up close with my own eyes. I watched this one. One thing I like about this one, this looks to be one of those video cameras that's like tape, not like digital, but little
like
DV tapes.
one.
Yeah, right. You can tell it has a little counter and everything. Can't be sure, but
look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that definition, man. Let me
crazy.
Yeah, let me focus it one more time. But even there, you can see the definition. It's far away as nighttime, but man, that's good. He's getting some good zoom on it too. Look at that. There we go. Look at that, man.
It's so like definitely two halves type of thing, isn't it? With the windows or something in the middle. around the middle. I don't know what it is, but it's a very distinct shape. Very distinct.
And that's what I was thinking too. It might be windows because we can't tell how far away it is. So there's no telling how huge it is. I mean, just that center piece could be as tall as a human being. You never know. Crystal looking. Thanks for sharing, man. Do you think you might be able to find a link online of what it looks like? Usually I search. That's how I found the images of the ones that I saw where it looked like I just searched online for UFO, and it came up. I'll see if I can find that while we looking at this one. Yeah, man, that's some detail right there. It's not just some light. Even though, I mean, those are some good evidence too, because I mean, you see a light making right angle turns at thousands of miles an hour. You know, it's not a satellite or something. But still, though, you can't beat a nice, very clear image.
No. Generally, footage I've seen, it's just like a light in the sky, zooming across the sky, and it just looks like a light. But this is the definition in these is
it's incredible.
Something. Yeah.
Now this one goes back to the UK. I believe this was actually some kind of documentary they had. Mom talks to aliens. So we back to the UK now, Glastonbury. So again, we went to China, we was in the US, now we're in the UK. So yeah, these guys get around. And in this one you could hear them exclaiming, wow, there's another one, there's another one. And it may seem amazing, but in one of the sightings I've had, there was about a dozen of them in the cloud. That time they didn't come out the cloud, but it was about a dozen of them in the clouds. So they do travel in fleets. Look at that, man. You can see how it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get better. They're gonna zoom in a bit more. Look at that.
Look even from that distance. Yeah, look. And they're all identical. They
all identical, man. Like a fleet. Look at that, man. You can see the halves. You can see. Yeah, it's not playing. I believe even more is going to show. Look at that, man. So whoever these beings are, and at one point in this video, the guy was like, "No, that's fireworks," and the lady was like, "No, that's not fireworks."
That's nothing like fireworks.
I could believe it, a lunatic. Thank you. I'll look up that name. I've had contact with ETs while I was out of body. One of them was my guy for a while. Look at that, man. That's shape right there. That's definition.
And the same thing from so many different countries, so many different sightings.
Yeah, man. You know, and I can't obviously at this point say exactly who they are. Some people might say they're the government. I can't prove or disprove that, but I don't see why the government would just be flying their secret craft, just hovering around places like that. So it seems like alien activity to me. But I plan on trying to, when I motivate myself enough to develop my skills again, seeing if I can go out of body to try to see if I can validate it in some way. So these are farther away. So, but there's still that type of craft that's glowing, you know, it's not like a metal disc or anything like that. But there'll be another more definite one coming up later. So I think he's going to zoom in on this one in a little bit, but I mean, it's pretty neat to me. I think it was a worthy inclusion. We can see how, even though he didn't zoom in well, it could possibly be that same type of craft if you were able to zoom in. You could kind of see the similarities. And I was able to find an image of Leanne Walker, at least some comments of her. Again, you could almost see that diamond shape. It's kind of far away. It's kind of inconclusive, but I think it's close enough to be a worthy addition. You can see how they're appearing like that, just like they did in that video from the UK.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good zoom. Just for a second, when the camera gets it right, you can see a sort of diamond shape right there.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. So it's a word. It's possible. It's a good possibility. So I want to make sure I add it. And see how they're just hovering, man. They're not playing. So this is some of the best footage I've seen of UFOs. And I like the fact that they all seem to be the same type of craft. And I don't even know where this is. I don't even know what language that is. I wonder if it, I don't think it said so at the start. Scroll back and see if it says where it's at. But it seems like maybe a Brazilian country, maybe from the language on there. Maybe Brazil, maybe Mexico. And yeah, whatever that stands for. So I believe this is the same as the last one, just from a slightly different zoom. You can see that same building right there, but worthy addition, I think. I'll make sure to try to find a book on it. I haven't found the book in her name yet, in Ann Walker's, but I should definitely look into it. I looked into a few interesting people like Carla Turner and a few others. There's a lady named can't remember her name. She talks about my labs, like military. She had contact, and she had contact with the government, who took her and was questioning her about her contacts and things like that. One of the craft, they shot it down. So we're back to the UK now, according to the filmers. So this is the one that I added. This is the new one. So this makes the 10th one when I counted all the different instances. So check this one out. So obviously this is very far away. Like the haze of the air is sort of dimming it a lot, but you can still see that half shape, that walnut diamond type look.
You can definitely see the shape.
And this one is going to morph too. We get a little while, but yeah, man, it's definitely similar to the ones from earlier. Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. And again, in this video, you can hear the couple that's taking the video sort of comment about what's going on, and then it's gonna morph in a bit. They're saying, "Wow, it looks like a star now." So we just saw it was definite.
But even like that, like it's not illuminated, right? But
yeah,
it's still
maybe slightly.
So you can't, yeah, but
enough
you
we can
can't,
see it.
Say it's a light in the sky or a
exactly. Now look at this.
A plane or a helicopter or whatever. Yeah, and
definitely.
Like transforms.
Yeah, just like that other one. Remember that other one that swirled?
Yeah.
So it looks different, but it still seems to be the same phenomena. It's changing its frequency or changing its structure in some kind of way. And right now the couple is saying, "Wow, now it looks like a star." And I'm certain when we look up at night, there's some stars that are not really stars. If you look at them long enough, people have videos of stars moving suddenly and making right angle turns, so you know it's not a satellite. That's some technology, man. I might play this Phoenix Light video too. Now you're getting some zoom on it. I'm sure it's hard to zoom on something that far away because I've used a telescope, so I know it's hard to do. But he's trying. There we go. You could even sort of still see a sort of separation in the middle.
You can there.
Yeah, even when it's morphed. And maybe it didn't necessarily morph. Maybe it just turned whatever mechanism that makes that glow around it. Maybe it just turned it up like a whole lot. Because it's not twirling right now. And now it's back. Looks like it's starting to change back. You still see some definition a bit. That's what I plan on doing too. I plan on getting some on camera. Not necessarily that I want to try to prove anything to anybody, but just, I think it'd be a good progression from seeing them to videotaping them. And eventually I want to very fully consciously meet an ET. Not like I did before and pass out. but actually really... Go ahead.
Sorry, man. I was going to say, would you get a camera with like infrared abilities to maybe get a bit better shot?
Good idea. I could do that as well. I don't know infrared. I don't know. I don't even know what it would look like in infrared. I wonder if anybody has tried that before.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. You might be able to get some more.
Maybe even a regular camera and an infrared camera. But I'm pretty sure if I can make contact, I'm pretty sure they will pose for me so I can get some good shots. Apparently that's what Billy Meyer did. Yeah, apparently that's what Billy Meyer did. But yeah, man. But that's it. That's a 10 different clips of that same type of UFO or potential. Some of them were a bit too far away that I've seen. Now this right here, this is a video of the Gulf Breeze sighting. One thing I like about this one is it was seen by thousands and thousands of people over in Phoenix, Arizona. And it was this mile or two wide craft that was shaped like a V. The people far away only saw the lights, but the people from underneath it could see something solid was blocking out the stars. You know what I mean? Like there was the lights, but there was also something that was not letting you see stars behind it. And it was about a mile or two wide. And even the governor of the state, that's like the highest ranking person in the state, and the state government saw it. It's not really a good video of it though. Awesome. Let's check out this link that Sean was posting. So, that's so many good videos now. You might have to get to a documentary to see a good one nowadays. It's been a little while.
What's Sean got going?
And if you want to come in, Sean, the link to the meet is in the video description. So just go to the meetup video description, and you can see the link to get into the meetup. And that's a good one right there. So this thing flew over basically the entire state of Phoenix, mostly Arizona, but it was tracked, and like there was a wave of 911 calls from people calling in saying this huge thing is going overhead. And I saw a documentary. It's called The Phoenix Lights, as a matter of fact. And one of the 9/11 operators was interviewed, and I believe the governor was interviewed. And he was in office, he denied it, but when he got out of office, he said he saw it too, and he think it was a extraterrestrial origin. But yeah, it was massive, man. And as you can see, the news people was talking about it too, but several people got it on camera from different angles. So that's one of my favorite sightings. I remember when this sighting happened. I remember when it happened, and I was so excited because I was like, man, now people can't deny that ETs are here. But the next day it was people were still saying it was flares and all kind of stuff. But I mean, the flare is not going to track around the entire state for like hours. You know what I mean? Like, that don't make any sense.
Flares go up and flares come down.
Yeah, so
that's about it.
But this one, it stuck out to me. But yeah, man. So
it's a bit bizarre. It's like a bloody. It's like they're all joined almost.
Oh yeah, it's connected. It's one large object that's a mile or two long, and the people who had flew right over. There was even one couple, or it was either an individual or a couple who was interviewed, and like their house is like on the hill or a small little mountain or whatever. So apparently the ship stayed the same height above ground level. So when it was flying over mountains, it was closer to the mountains, and some people was able to see it pretty closely. And they described the lights and everything, and the fact that they couldn't really see what it was because it was dark, but they could tell something was there. It was blocking out the stars as it went, so something was there in between them and the stars that was really big, but just the lights was pretty much in the center, tracking along the center of this big V shape or wing shape. There's this V wing type of a shape, a shape
Yeah.
like that. So it's pretty cool. Bashar, who channels through Darryl, says it's the race of beings that's going to be the first beings that make open contact with humans. Apparently, that's supposed to be them in their craft, like appearing here. Let me see what they're saying in the chat here. What's Bill? They're saying Bill's area. Maybe they're talking about ghost hunters. But cool. What do you think? What do you think, Bandsaw? Pretty cool?
I think it's pretty cool, mate. I think it's pretty cool.
So I hope I can find more videos like that. Go ahead.
Like the first ones are far more convincing than, say, those lights.
That's
like
right.
That last one. Far more convincing. Yeah, those first ones, like the definition you can see.
Yeah.
In those craft, because they look like craft. They don't look like lights.
Mm-hmm. And the people who were there was claiming that they were craft. They're like, man, that got to be a spaceship. So yeah, man, that's some good stuff.
It is, and for that same object to be in so many different countries too, and recorded more than once, yeah, it makes you wonder a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, man.
Well, makes me wonder a bit. You already know.
Well, I mean, it does make me wonder who they are, because I've never personally seen a craft like this, like the one that I saw with my own eyes, and then the lights in the sky, which I'm certain are the same type of craft because of the way the lights look. It looked like this right here. So you know what I mean. And when I saw the ones I saw, I was reaching out mentally for contact, and I had that hour and a half missing time. So, and I vaguely remember somebody helping me into my room one time. So, to me, it seems ET. But the one I saw looked almost identical to this, if not identical to this. And this is supposed to be a picture from Gulf Breeze. These people had a lot of sightings in Gulf Breeze. So. Okay. But the one I saw it enough to see definition like this. Like it wasn't just a light in the sky. I saw definition just like this. Like the top half of it was still cut off, so in the cloud. So you could say exactly what I saw will be like that. Or this one right here, as it was coming out of the cloud. So I was like, oh my gosh. And it was from this angle like this. So this will be really more exactly like what I saw. Like almost exactly just like this, the same angle, the same definition and everything. I didn't see any beam, but that's pretty much. And instead of it being all light under here, it was like a pink neon sign that was just moving around. So it was like a very thick beam or wire underneath there. It wasn't just light totally. Like the background was a pink light. There was a pink something up in there moving around up in there. I remember that distinctly.
Almost like an engine of some sort. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, some kind of. And you could almost kind of see it in this one. You can kind of see a little bit of definition under there. You can see it's not just all light, but there's some kind of definition of light under there. It's not just So, I mean, these seem like real pictures to me. Again, I can't confirm or deny if these are real, but this is exactly like what I saw. So.
See, the way they move around in the sky, like it's like there's no evidence of any sort of engine, like what we would consider an engine, if that makes sense. Like no sort of exhaust fumes or trail of any sort. It's well, obviously it's advanced technology.
Very advanced. No,
gone way past all that. But see, that sort of image there, that is just very compelling.
Yeah, can't deny it.
That one right there is just very, very compelling. And
just and they talk about the preponderance of evidence, seeing the same thing over and over. Yeah, it's amazing. So, whoever they are, man, I hope we make some good contact with them. But we probably need to mature more, because I mean, imagine with the technology we have now, we're just making a mess of things. So, to a certain extent, I think we're probably not really mature enough to have technology this advanced.
Well, no. But also too, like, okay, you know, they're coming here, cruising around, right? But they're not showing any hostility.
I agree.
At all.
That's true, especially given the fact that, I mean, there's been several testimonies that we've shot their craft down. So we've shot at them, and sometimes we've succeeded in shooting not craft like this, but more metallic type craft. Apparently, there's been retrievals, and let me get this lady's name so I can speak to her specifically. One moment here. I have the book right here. So this lady here, Leah A. Haley. This is her second book, Unlocking Alien Closets, and I'm partway through this one. But she has another one called. Let me see if I can find that one too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know where I put her other one at. But suffice it to say, she has a lot of contact during her lifetime as well. If I remember right, it might have been since she was a kid, but I can't remember. But definitely in her adult years. And one time, and she had, like, she was fully conscious the whole time type of contact. And one time she was on the craft, and suddenly the thing crashed. And when she got out, there was government people there. So yeah, she said that, but for her, she was with, if I remember right, it was with the Grays, and it was a metallic disc type of craft, not like a light craft like this. And Stephen Greer said that they use this sort of advanced radar type thing, like a more not a dispersing type of radar, but a very laser-like type of radar, and it disrupts their systems and causes it to crash. So, but can't confirm that, but that's Stephen Greer apparently talks to a lot of government people who runs the Disclosure Project. And but yeah, she said they abducted her and was questioning her and things like that, and they took the people's craft away. So I say that to say if they was hostile, I mean they have very good reason to you know what I'm saying. Like we lie and bomb other countries, you know what I mean? We make up stuff to bomb other countries, to take their oil or whatever, or to destroy the country so we can pay ourselves for building it back up. But I mean, we legitimately, according to reports, attacked these people, and they still haven't obliterated us. So I'll say that's a good sign of benevolence, if nothing else.
Well, if they've got the kind of technology to be traveling the way they do, thank goodness they're not showing any hostility.
Damn right.
I reckon.
Yeah, because the way it looks to me, one of these craft will probably take out the whole planet. I mean, what can we do about it? And you know, one of the Stephen Greer collected a lot of reports from military people or airplane tower operators and things like that that have radar of these things moving at enormous speeds and disappearing and reappearing elsewhere. Like they would disappear here and reappear like hundreds of miles elsewhere, and then a different airport to start tracking the same shaped object, or even by sight, military was sending jets out. So I mean, if they wanted to, there's, according to what I've seen and according to reports, there's really nothing we can do. So obviously they wanted to hurt us. They'd have hurt us by now. So, but, and they're telling, I know, of course, you know, like there's some people who have contact and say they're here because they know people here. Basically, people are going to have future lifetimes in their civilization, or they're aware that we are exploding nuclear bombs, and they're trying to come watch the situation because apparently nuclear bombs affect more than just the local area. The way it works, it affects other dimensions. So, and these people can travel through other dimensions, like we saw on Morphin and stuff. So, for things like that, bring them here, and some of them are just exploring. So they could be here for various reasons.
Do you think they're living amongst us?
I do actually. I do think that some of them are here. because apparently the Pleiadians uh, are an offshoot of humans. Like basically the Pleiadians and humans come from the same, probably hundreds of thousands of years from now, but at some point we was from the same lineage. So I do believe that there's some human-looking aliens that are here, and people have made reports to that effect. But I can't confirm that. I haven't seen any human-like aliens myself. The only ones I ever saw myself were they could not pass in the crowd at all.
Yeah.
But there's been reports of that. Matter of fact, Travis Walton. I read his book. You heard of Travis Walton?
No, no, I haven't actually. No. No.
So what happened is he was a logger basically, and he was out doing his logging work, and they saw a light in the sky. They called it. That's why it's called fire in the sky, like this red fire. So imagine they're like in way deep in the woods cutting down trees, and they see
Yeah.
this red glow that they know is not the sun. So they drive over there to check it out. And when they drive over there to check it out, they see this hovering UFO that's glowing in the sky. And Travis Walton tried to show off a little bit, and he got out and walked towards the craft. When he did, this beam of light like this came out and hit him and knocked him back like 10 feet or whatever. And it was like 8 people, all of them. It was like the whole logging crew, right? So
Okay.
when they knocked him back, he's like laid out on the ground, like out. They think he's dead. So they drive off. They're like, this thing's trying to kill us or whatever. Um, and then finally, they yelling at each other, dude, we can't leave Travis. We got to go get him. So eventually, they talk themselves back to going back and get him. But some time has passed by this point. And when they get back to the location, he's gone. So he's missing. So they go back to town. And of course, when they tell him Travis got abducted by a UFO, the police and all think they killed them, right? So they get criminally investigated and they put on lie detector tests, and the police think they killed them and they hiding the body in the woods, and this goes on
Yeah.
for like a week. And suffice it to say, he gets back and he tells them he was in fact abducted by aliens, and then things ensue, and he wrote a book saying his perspective. So basically, it was like the gray type beings that had him, like similar to grays, with these big eyes. He has drawings of them in the book. The craft was not necessarily metallic, but it was this shape, but it was unique. I have that book around here somewhere. I'll get that book and show some pictures. Let me see this link they're talking about here. See if I can post this real fast. Okay, awesome, Rez. I'll check this out. So these are more the ones with the sort of moving things that can't be stars. Oh, I think is it talking about that one there? Let's see what
You're
moves.
saying between 20 and 22 seconds.
Between 20 and 22?
Yeah, between 20 and 22. I think
Ah,
that's what
okay.
he's saying. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta go rewind a bit.
I think I missed it. Hold up here.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw it. Did you see it?
Sorry, from top right to bottom
Oh,
left.
I see it now.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, do that again.
Uh,
Oh, there we go.
yeah, yeah. That could be a satellite, though.
Yeah.
One thing you have to keep in mind when you're searching for ETs and UFOs, you gotta keep in mind satellites. You gotta keep in mind asteroids and things like that.
So,
Let's check this one out there where it's posted here.
actually,
If anybody want to join, by the way, the link is in the description for the video. If you go to the video description, the link to the meetup is right up in there.
here's one in Australia from 4 weeks ago.
This one here, or are you saying the one you just posted?
No, no, no. I just found one in Australia from 4 weeks ago. Hold on, I'll
Awesome.
put it in the
Yeah,
chat.
put the link. I'll put it up here.
I'll put it in the YouTube chat. It's not nowhere near as clear as those other ones, but I'll put it in the YouTube chat.
Awesome.
and see what you think. It's a couple of lights, though, not just one.
Awesome. Do you know what seconds it is for this one, Rez? Oh, hold up, it's pausing. I remember one that I saw, the two pink lights were just sitting stationary in the clouds. And then from a stationary position at the horizon, then they zoomed off. So I know that can't be a satellite. Whatever it was just sitting in the clouds and then took off. I mean, I never did the calculations, but I guess I need to do the calculations. How fast would you have to be going to go from horizon to horizon in about a second? Pretty sure there's a way to calculate that. Slow that one down, that last one, Rez.
Yeah.
20 to 22 seconds.
Yeah. Go down to like 0.25 for the speed.
Oh, I see it. You saw it?
There we go. Yeah. Just right in the middle there. Bang. Something.
Doesn't look like a meteor because it didn't hit the atmosphere and burn up, but I'm not really familiar with meteors out in space. But obviously there's something shooting across the sky there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So he must just get his camera and go out there on a nightly basis. What I found was when I made the intention, like I made the firm intention, I want to see something definite. I just like, I find that like when cause I saw so many of different videos and different types of videos, and what I found is people who are more afraid of actually seeing something definite, who just want to see a light in the sky, that's what they end up seeing. And the less fearful you are, the more definite you see. So like Stephen Greer sees some things up close too. And I remember he was given one of his like he organizes outings where groups of people go out and see the UFOs, and they have some on film too, some very definite like the ones we saw. And matter of fact, I need to find his video. That's another one I could add. He saw some UFOs that seemed like the diamond type. But suffice it to say, one of the time he had these outings, and the craft was there. It was like not a light in the sky was visible. And one lady got in her truck and just drove off. She just ran, got in her truck, and left. So obviously it was too much for her.
Yeah,
awesome, man.
Lights just starting to appear. But
that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's a worthy addition though, because I mean it's far away. It could be one of the diamond ones. And I've seen some orb ones too.
But that's from about 4 weeks ago in Australia. So. A quick search.
Yeah. You talking about Stephen Greer? Yeah, man. I'm sure that's something right there. It's not a satellite. It's not an airplane.
No.
Never seen a helicopter look like that. Yeah, it looks like one of those, if not a diamond type, something advanced and similar to that. Which it'd be nice. Well, I was about to say it'd be nice to crop it, like crop that part of the film, but it'll probably not. It'll probably just diminish the quality to the point that it might not help much.
It's actually there for quite some time. Would
have
been
nice
if she had it zoomed in just a wee bit, but anyway,
well,
it is what it is.
Yeah, but maybe she zoomed it as much as she could. I don't even know what she's using. Maybe it's a cell phone or something. Yeah. But still looks really good. Don't look like a flare. Yeah. There's no smoke. It's not like sinking. It's just hovering right there like that.
No. And they're sort of like, they're just still. They're not moving. It's not a plane, and not a helicopter. They're not helicopters.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man.
It's definitely something. Who knows?
I really think, put it like this, man. Like I was about to say, I really think disclosure's coming soon, but I won't even count on that anyway. I decided to just stop trying to wait for the government to do it, and I just wanted to just find out for myself. And that's why I started focusing on having my own contacts. So, can't nobody tell me because I've experienced it myself. So I think when enough people do that, it won't matter if the government does disclosure or not, because we just disclose it for ourselves.
It's pretty naive to think that we're the only ones in the universe.
Yeah, man. I mean, take a look at this.
Really.
Deep space galaxy. So look at this, man.
Yeah.
These are galaxies. Galaxies.
Yeah.
So this is like a deep space Hubble picture. There's so many galaxies. The galaxies are like stars, right? When we look up at night, we see stars, and it looks like this, but these are galaxies. So each one has trillions and trillions and trillions of stars. And to believe that we're the only sentient beings in existence when there's as many galaxies as there are stars that we see. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I mean, look at that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Galaxies, man. Galaxies. So here's another galaxy. Looks like a spiral galaxy right there. Another spiral one right there. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yeah, man. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So once I saw these deep space images, and even getting better images nowadays with this, I saw one the other day that I was even better than these. It was like this new technique they did to look even deeper. And then another thing you realize, like when they do these deep space images, and you look at how much of the sky it is, it's like this much of the sky. It's like just like that much, right?
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, and that little part of the sky has that many galaxies. So if you think there's that many galaxies multiplied times, like 300 and I don't know how many, but thousands. If you take every single patch of how many patches that is to make up the entire, circumference of the entire globe. So it's crazy, man. I'm gonna see if I can find this Fire in the Sky book. I'll be right back. Not sure where I put my Fire in the Sky. I'll see if I can find some images on Amazon to show y'all. Yeah. But I wish there was some interior images online, but probably a copyright thing. Fire in the Sky. And he met human types as well, like because he was there for like 7 days, and they healed him and made him better. Because at first he was thinking it was some kind of like very bad tumultuous event, but in his most recent interviews that I saw, he was saying, you know what, they probably saved my life, because imagine if you like if we was to bring a F-14 back 1,000 years, right, and you have like this person who never even seen a car before, or even a horse and buggy before, and now he's looking at a F-14, and he's like, what's that bright light coming from the back? And imagine if he steps behind the F-14, he's going to be singed. Then we're going to have to take him to the ER to do some work on him. So basically, that's kind of like how he related it in the future. He like, I stood under the craft, ended up telling what he was doing. Maybe it was charging up or something, and maybe it was just some kind of discharge that hit me, and they wouldn't. I don't think they was trying to attack me anymore or anything like that. And then they probably saved my life, and I just shouldn't have probably walked up into the craft like that.
What's amazing too, Darryl, is that's from the Hubble, but you look at some of the amateur space photography, and that is just stunning too these days. It really is.
But cool. But that's what we're looking into. That's all I really want to do was just show these new edition of videos I had, and give some chats about it, see what's going on. See what the chat talking about.
Yeah, it is a stunning image, Rez.
But cool. If nothing else to discuss, I'll probably go ahead and close it up. Make a little short talk today. You think you might like to play some chess later? What time is it by you anyway? I guess it's like what,
Oh,
5 a.m.?
it's 6, just gone 6, mate.
You gonna go back to sleep or something?
Oh no. The sun's just about to come up, mate. So yeah, I'll wait till much later. But yeah, no, if you want to have a game of chess later for sure.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I appreciate you joining, man, and I appreciate everybody joining in and sharing your links. And if anybody ever finds another good video of a walnut diamond-shaped craft like these right here, please let me know so I can add it and keep on increasing the repertoire. So I'm up to 10 sightings of these things up in this video. So if you can find more, I mean, it'd be awesome. So some verified by pilots in planes, some of them just by couples out in the field. You know, these people in the field as well. One by newscasters while they was filming a shuttle disaster. So these things are everywhere. So cool, guys. Cool. And do you know how long from now you might want to get on to play some chess? How much time do you think?
Oh, whenever you want, mate. Whenever you want.
Cool. Well, give me 2 hours. Give me a snack, eat, relax a bit. I'll come back 2 hours from now for some chess.
All right, too easy. See you then, Jess.
All right, y'all. Thanks for joining, y'all.
All right, ciao. Bye.